Hi everyone, I'm Shane McDavid, Kelby's brother. Anyone that knew Kelby knew that she was the best mother, daughter, sister, grandchild, cousin, and friend anyone could have. She was a bright light that lit up the darkest of days. Her smile and laughter brought immense joy to anyone who got to witness it. Her sense of humor, sarcastic attitude, and joy for life brought joy into everyone's hearts. Anyone who knew her also knew she loved her daughters more than anything. She gave absolutely everything she had in her to her kids, and I hope they find comfort in the fact that they meant more than anything to her. Her legacy will be carried for the rest of eternity. I know she's looking down with joy on her face at all of you who showed up today and for the ones watching the live stream. I also know she wishes she could be here with all of us and that with her went a piece of each of our hearts. I'll forever remember her as the person who held me when I was scared as a child, the person who took me on drives when I was bored, the person who always checked in to see how I was doing, the person who made me an uncle, the person who always made sure her kids had what they needed, and the person who made me feel the most understood. This ache in my heart might never leave, but her memory will remain for eternity. I hope you all hang on to the memories you have of her and cherish the time you all got to have with her. She was called home with God, taken from us far too soon. I know she feels peace now, and that she will forever remain proud of her daughters and watching them from afar. Till we all meet again, Kelby, may you have peace, serenity, and feel the endless love in all of our hearts for you. We will have a few people who were chosen to come up to speak, come speak now.
I'm Zach McDavid, Kelby's brother, and my mom, Gina here, she had some Bible verses that she wanted Grace and I to read. So, 2, 4, 9, and 11. It's, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say, the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him I will trust. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be my shield and buckler, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. And she also asked me to read from 1 Corinthians 13, 7 and 13. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. And now abideth faith, hope, and love, these three. But the greatest of these is love.
I'm Grace McDavid, the youngest sister of Kelby. Mom asked me to read Ecclesiastes 3, 1, 2, 1, 11, and 13. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything can be taken from it. And God doeth it, and the men shall fear before him.
Short. So, all right, my name's Alyssa Honeywell, now Walter. A lot of people know me with my last name being Honeywell. But I'm going to read two different things. The first thing is that I wrote it to Kelby, and then the second thing is something that Tina wrote for me. Sorry. You've been my best friend since I was 3 and you were 5. To be truthfully honest, I did not see this coming till we were old and gray. But here we are. Like we always told each other, you're my person. You still are. We were always able to say exactly what was on our mind, what we were going through, and how we were actually doing, with no filter, no judgment. No matter how much time had passed since we last talked or saw each other, it was like none had passed at all. I meant everything I said that night while I held your hand. I know you were listening, laughing, crying along with me as I retold some of our greatest hits and the times that still made us cry to this day. You were one of the few who truly knew me to my core and loved me anyway. I'll never let your 3 little girls forget who their mommy is and was. You were strong, resilient, independent, stubborn, witty, and a beautiful soul. As I left your side that early Sunday morning, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. I now realize that peace was coming from God, reminding me He will reunite us again one day. You did truly make an impact no matter what you thought. And this world will not be the same without you. Your absence leaves a hole in so many lives. Rest in peace. I love you very much. Love your face. And then the next is a poem that Tina wrote for me, thinking about me and her daughter, Kelby. The sun still shines when daylight breaks, even though I can't see your face. I feel your love surrounding me. God's will for you was not my own. His plan was greater, yet still unknown. I trust this journey, though I feel alone. I know I'm not. God's grace is shown. Life will never be the same. Angel wings you gained. God watches over you now. You're in His care. Thank you, God, for these precious years. Though too soon to let her go, I'm thankful for the gift you share.
Hi, my name's Tina. Known Tina for a very long time. Kelvie was another child of mine. We might not have seen each other often, but we kept in touch. Tina asked me to read this. Moments. I still remember brown-eyed stare. Time stood still. Change of heart. No more just mine, but to share. An altered life, such a gift. Mother and child walking hand in hand. Through every journey, memories made, every step of the way, tears and laughter, heartache and pain. My love never changed. The joy you brought, the light you shine, will forever stay lit inside my mind. You left a legacy that no one can replace. You made your footprint on human race. Watch over us now from above. See you soon when it's our time. Meet us with your warm embrace. Until then, we carry on. Never the same, the peace of our hearts we hold on to. Keep them safe until our time is through. Love, Mom.
If anyone else has a few words or a memory they'd like to come up and share for 1 to 2 minutes, please do so now.
Sorry, my name is Roy Brooks. I'm Kelly's grandfather, and I had Kelby for 30 years, and I remember the first time she came home, from the hospital, and I looked at her and I told Tina, I said, you know what, this child is going to be special, and she was. I have so many memories of Kelby. We had Kelby and Tina had Kelby for 7 years, and then Tina got married and moved out, and when she moved out, Kelby told me, he said, Grandpa, he says, I am coming. And I said, you sure? I said, you know, Lex says, I'm coming back home. When I graduate, I'm coming back home. And so actually, it was the year before she graduated. She was a senior over at Clinton Highway High School, and we lived over in Napoleon. And she says, I want to come home. Would you take me back and forth to school and for my senior year? And for one solid year, we drove that child every morning and came back at night and all the activities to Clinton Highway High School so she could graduate from high school. And anyways, but after that, she was moved out and she come back. She finally come back, and that's where she was when she passed away. But I got a funny story I want to tell you. Her boyfriend was in prison down here somewhere, or in jail, and she called me one day and she said, Grandpa, you take me to Adrian. I said, what for? She says, I've got a therapy down there. I said, I'm going to therapy. I said, therapy? She said, yeah, would you take me down there? So I drove into Adrian. She made me go past Adrian into a parking lot and hit in the corner. And I'm thinking, okay, where's the therapy at? She says, right there. I think, well, why didn't you just let me park you out front and you walk in the front door? She said, no, you stay here. I said, I can't follow you. She said, no, you stay here. She'd be gone for an hour. Okay. I did this about 5 or 10 times, and I'm thinking, you know, I've got to figure out what's going on. So one day she did it, and she left and went down the street. I got my car, and I kind of just followed a little bit. Where did she go? She went to the jailhouse. And she came out, and I said, oh, where are you going? She says, oh, I had to go through therapy. I said, yeah, who was in the jail? I said, you have me coming down here to take you to see your boyfriend. And I said, hey, I thought you were going to therapy. She says, well, if I told you the truth, you wouldn't have brought me. But she had me hide in the corner. She wouldn't even let me come see her walking down the street. But anyway, Kelby was a joy. You know, I can't say enough about Kelby. I can still hear this voice right now because every time she get in trouble, every time she wants something, a tire would go low, or oil would be low in her car, I hear her in the backyard, like, Grandpa! I knew I was in trouble. I knew I was in trouble because I knew Kelby wanted something. I said, Kelby, what's wrong? I said, I ain't got no oil in it. I said, Kelby, you're supposed to put oil in the car. So she drove in one day and she came to me and said, Grandpa! I said, what? She said, I've got a funny steering in the front end. I said, what are you talking about, a funny steer? She said, I got a funny steer. I said, what's wrong? She says, I don't know. So I looked over, tire was almost flat. I said, Kelby, you're supposed to put air in the tire. So this went on all the time. You know, I don't regret 1 minute everything I have ever done for this child. I loved her with my heart. I know where she's at today because I talked to her many, many times. I know she was saved. I know she asked Jesus to come into her heart. And that gives me the comfort to know that one day we're going to see her. And Mom's going to sit on that shore and she's going to wait for me. And she's going to wait for Tina. And she's going to wait for this family. And she's going to be on that Jordan, shores of Jordan. And when we come up there, she's going to be the first one to grow out and grab us and hug us and kiss us. But I know one thing for sure. That child today is in heaven because she asked Jesus into her heart. And that's the best I can tell you. Just remember, she was loved. She loved us. She loved her children. I mean, she loved her children more than anything. I tell you right now, she was a joy. And I gave her my heart. We gave her our love. And you know what? She gave it back. In a roundabout way, Kelby always let me know she loved me. I'd be sitting at the table drinking my coffee. She said, Grandpa, I think I love you this morning. I said, okay. But that was it. That's my story. But Kelby was a joy. She was mine. She was my. I had 3 children. She was my 4th child. And so anyway, I just want to share that with you this morning. She was a mess.
So I wasn't gonna say anything, but now I am. This is from whenever I was in 5th grade. So we were staying at this little condo in Tecumseh, and it was me, Mom, our little Jorge, and Kelby. And I remember it was 4th of July. My mother was working at the time, and I decided that I should dye my hair purple. So I walk into the living room where Kelby is. I'm like, hey, Kelby, we should dye my hair. And knowing Kelby as a little troublemaker that she is, she was like, I agree. So we're sitting here. Mom's not home. I'm like 10 years old. And I told Bleach, I'm like, Kelby, why is there bleach in my hair? It's supposed to go purple. She's like, you have to dye it first before you go purple. I'm like, okay. So I trust her. And Mom's like, she was working night shifts. And I fall asleep. I wake up. And I think Mom saw it like in the trash can. No, that's not what happened. No, what happened, I walked out and I walked Mom walks into my room. Oh my goodness, I should have thought this out, guys. Okay. And Kelvin knows it wouldn't be if I didn't mess it up. It's okay. No, Mom walks into my room. She doesn't even yell. She gets so mad though. She was like maintained her calm, but she could not have been more upset at me. My hair was like, it wasn't even like purple. It was just so chaotic. And me and Kelly thought it was the funniest thing in the entire world. And then Mom tried to dye. It was actually a picture of me at my grandparents' house from 5th grade. I looked like a clown because whenever Mom tried to bleach it back to blonde and turned red in this process. And I had this little fro. My hair is naturally curly. And like my hair was like to here. And I was like, and it was an absolute red fro. Like you looked at me, you thought you saw a clown, I swear. And then that's that story. I don't like talking about it, but under the circumstances. And then there was a little while that we were also staying with our grandma and grandpa. Oh, she is deep red right now, guys. You should see her. My goodness gracious. And there was this time we were staying with grandma and grandpa for a little while. And I remember we would be up at like 2 a.m, cracking up. And my grandpa would come back and he'd be like, guys, I'm trying to sleep. I have church in the morning. I need you guys to shut up. He didn't say shut up, I promise. That was my little dramatic. He would never say that. But it was the funniest thing. He would get so mad at us and we would not stop. He would have to come back there like 3 times before we actually decided. And my Mom was like, guys, you need to be quiet. You're talking too much. And we would always get in these little fights every single time she would win. This girl is so much stronger than you would think. She's like 5 foot. She's like the hero in me, guys. And this girl had like the punch of like, I don't even know how to describe it, like Godzilla, I swear. Just one punch and I was over. I was like, you won. And then I would be like, Mom, she just hit me so hard. And Mom wouldn't even yell at her. She was like, you deserved it. You were the one that got in the fight with her. I loved Kelby so much. There was also times where I would like, whenever I first got my permit, I'd be like, Kelby, let's go for a drive. You see, I never told them I couldn't legally drive yet. It was a parents only permit, but I was like, I can drive at 20 minutes over. So me and Kelby, I remember one time we went to Jackson and we got Taco Bell, and every single time we would pass a cop and be like, oh my goodness. And Kelby would be like, why are you freaking out? Well, I didn't want to tell Mom, but I can't legally drive with you. And she was like, whatever, like it's fine. But yeah, those are some of my favorite memories with Kelby. I know she's up there laughing with us right now. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Hi, I'm Aunt Issa. Um, that's a name that Kel gave to me. It's actually passed through the generation. She couldn't pronounce my name, so it always came out Mesa or something odd. So I ended up with Issa as a short version. Um, she was my ride partner, my travel partner. I remember going Cedar Point with her. She was a baby. Got in trouble for that one. We was late for curfew, but she got to ride. She always hit me up even when I went to Arizona. Anissa, you alive? Are you there? I'm like, yes, I'm here. So she always checked on me. She always made sure that she was our little dancer. I had numerous pictures. She loved to dress up. But she was a goofball by far. She always got herself in trouble, always knew how to, but she loved to swim like her aunt says. So we always were at the beach. I remember one time, and all of her friends know how Kelby is. She's no hold bar. She has no filter. So we're laying on a beach, it's a family beach, it's a wonderful little lake. And she decides, we're gonna unhook the bikini top and we're just gonna sunbathe. This is kind of, I'm like, this is a family park. Oh, it's okay. I'm laying on my stomach. We're good. I'm like, what if you get up and then you forget the top? Oh, it's all right. I'll just throw it back on real quick. So Kelby was always no filter. She didn't care as long as she was enjoying life and having fun. Yes, she had her struggles, but she surmounted above it. She became a survivor of it. And she has 3 beautiful babies right here and a whole family that loves her, friends that love her. And these babies are her legacy. Man, I can't say enough about the babies. They are just smart, and so much of Kelby is in them, each and every one of them. That you carry on your mama's legacy. Carry it on.
Well, I guess I'm glad we finally got to the bottom of who was responsible for Grace's clown phase. And she's telling that story and the other ones, and Melissa is too. And I mean, that's the funny thing about Kelby is that she was real good at getting into trouble. And it wasn't just that, but she was real good at bringing the rest of us into it too. And I mean, when we were real young, we had a paddle in our house for scare tactics. Chanel never used or anything, right? And Kelby got that paddle one day when no one else was around, and she wrote her name on it. And she made it, I mean, just real pretty letters. She put little hearts and flowers around it and all kinds of stuff. And, I mean, she just dressed it up so pretty. And then, because she was the one who got scared with it the most. And then one day she convinced the rest of us to write all of our names on it too. As we all got old enough to get into our own trouble without her. And I didn't realize it, but I guess Kelby taught Grace how to drive, which explains a lot. But I mean, you said, you had a learner's permit when you used to ride with her. And Kelby we'd be home alone, and my mom's car was there. And to this day, I'm sure she doesn't know it, but Kelby and I used to go out and drive her car all over the place. And I think I was maybe 14 or 15 at the time. And Mom had a Hank Jr. CD that I don't know if it was stuck in the car or what, but I know we used to just ride around like all over town listening to that CD. We drive all the back roads, and I'd get lost. I'd look over at a field or something, tractor out in the field, and I'd look up and we'd be halfway in the ditch, and like there was like ragweed growing and all kind of that. I'm not sure what it's called. It's got those little purple flowers on it, that weed. And I looked over one time, we're in the ditch, and Kelby's in the passenger seat with her window down, and all that weeds and those purple flowers are getting ripped off the front of the car and flying in through the window. And she's like, what in the world are we doing in the ditch? I'm just picking these flowers for you. Collect them for you. But, so I mean, I don't know, if you ever rode with Kelvie, you wouldn't brag about her teaching you how to drive either, but. Like I say, she was just good at getting the rest of us in trouble, but I mean, I don't know, most of you haven't been to like our family holidays or anything, but somebody always likes to start something. And when stuff happened like that, you know, there'd be a little argument at the dinner table. I'd always run to the back room. I'd grab my plate and I'd go to the back room, and it didn't take very long. And like, sure enough, Kelby would sneak back there and she'd have the whole big old bowl of banana pudding that Grandma had made, or she'd bring the whole cheesecake. And everyone else up in the dining room would be asking where it was and trying to find out what happened to the pumpkin pie or whatever. And Kelby and I would just be back there, keep it down. And it's probably going to be hard now because I don't know, I'll probably have to sit in that back room alone now with my big bowl of banana pudding. I know, that's not going to make me feel good about myself. So. But I'll miss that about you. We love you.
Doing a little better now. Okay, so since everybody has a driving story, I feel like I need a contribute. So I also don't know if Tina knows that we also took the van. Yeah, so we lived in the trailer park and there was mailboxes down at the end. Oh no, my mom's looking at me. Okay, my mom didn't know either. So anyway, I don't even know if Kelby had heard was heard of it at this time. We thought we were really cool because we snuck the blue purple van down to the mailboxes. Like, we thought we were really, really cool. The other time, which did have a permit, we all went to McDonald's in Clinton with you, Mama Tina. All right, you were there. We were making a left-hand turn, and she couldn't decide if she was going to go, because if you ever know, if you're pulling out of the McDonald's in Clinton, going left, it can be scary sometimes. So she's like, okay, I'm going to go. Halfway through turning, she slams on her brakes. I'm not gonna go. We're like, go, because there's cars coming in. Almost got hit. It's all right. It's okay. Bro, it's fine. There's another story, but she's gonna be really mad that I'm gonna say, because we used to argue about it until this day. But the first time so we went to church together. But then when we figured out we lived across the street from each other, I swear she was in front of her trailer that had a flower bed that Tina had flowers in, and she was eating dirt. She claims it was Oreos, but I'll tell you what, it was dirt, and we still fought about it up until this recent. Like, remember that time you were eating dirt? I was not eating dirt. You were seeing things. That's all right. I don't know if you knew Kelby during her Twilight phase, loving Twilight. She got me hooked on the Twilight series, so we went to the midnight release of Breaking Dawn. Tina, I think did you take us to this or read with us? But we went to the mall to get the new book, and she was a fast reader, okay? So I was in my trailer, she was at hers. She comes banging on my window in the middle of the night, and I'm freaking out, like, what's happening? And I look, and she's like, Bella's pregnant. And I'm like, I'm not there yet. You just ruined this for me. So there was sometimes I also did sneak into your guys' house so we could watch Grey's Anatomy at like 3 in the morning. Pretty sure Tina did catch us a few times. You guys are watching without me. Yeah, so those were just a few, but figured I had to share at least the driving stories since everybody was contributing.
Well, you get me again. I do got one last story, and I know, like, it's like being in church. Everybody's getting hungry and want to go eat, so I'll make this quick. We would make a cake, Georgia would make a cake, and I'd kind of put it away at night, and I put a aluminum foil over the top of it. I get up the next morning, and this is her trademark, and I almost forgot to tell you about it. She takes her piece out of the middle. I don't care if it was a cake or pie, it was coming out of that middle, and you look at that thing, oh no, Kelby's been here again. But she wouldn't take the side, she would take it right out of the middle. So anyway, thank you for coming. We love Kelby. I loved her with the bottom of my heart, I still do. I look forward to seeing her. Old as I am, may not have how long to wait, but I look forward to seeing her. And so I want to have a prayer. Say a little prayer for you, and then I'm going to dismiss you, and then Tina can do what she wants. All right? Let's pray. All right, Father, we thank you for this time that we can come and celebrate the life of Kelby and many, many, many wonderful stories we've heard, a little laughter. Sometimes it's better to just laugh instead of cry. And Father, for giving us that laughter and those wonderful thoughts, we thank you for that this morning. And Father, this morning as we go forward, may her children, may her mom and her siblings all just remember that Kelby loved you, and they also want you to know that she loved them. And Father, if there's one here today, Father, that doesn't know you as their personal Savior, that Father, if they just reach down and ask you to come into your heart, confess their sins, ask you to come into their hearts, and you too can be in heaven and have all the joy with Kelby. Father, this morning we just thank you for this time. Go with us as we go to our separate homes. Keep us safe, and we'll thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see,